She's the person who was sexually assaulted back in 2023. Nia Dukes filed a civil lawsuit claiming Dolton trustee and community activist Andrew Holmes violated her while attending a conference for the village.
You going to jail. The FBI came and raided this place. You can keep lying on TikTok and everything else and say you ain't get raided, but you did get raided. The nerve of you all to put your in front of us when you disrespect us the way you do.
I'm going to continue to demand transparency, no matter how frustrating things could get.
I understand that your village is in jeopardy because of people's hatred for your mayor. We have to still live here. When they leave, we have to fix what's broken.
Sitting next to Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard at countless meetings, the feds allege Keith Freeman not only failed to report his income from the village, he actively lied about it. But this indictment on one count of bankruptcy fraud says Freeman falsely stated he only worked for the township and made just over $99,000 last year.
A person can lie on their own financials. What do you think they're doing for the village? Nobody is untouchable. So if this is just the first domino to all of them falling, let it happen.
When the feds are looking at a larger scheme or relationship, oftentimes what they have to do is go for people who are below or the lower part of the food chain, get them for something, charge them with something, because that's the leverage they need to be able to sit down with that person and say, now, if you help us, life might be good for you. If you don't help us, you're in a lot of trouble. Now, what do you want to do?
Friday, FBI agents served a pair of subpoenas here at Dolton Village Hall, part of their ongoing investigation into allegations of corruption by Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. We got copies of those two subpoenas. Here they are right here, and they offer something of a roadmap, some clues as to what the feds are looking at.
At it like a crack addict, perfect timing podcast with the blast on their ass real fast in the dash. Back with another hot video. Yeah, man, we back with that city girl mayor topic again, and I got some new information in the episodic adventures of City Girl Superman. We excited today because we got an update with the Dolton Super Mayor City Girl Tiffany Henyard. We have more details as it relates to those FBI subpoenas, who those FBI subpoenas were served to and why, gives us kind of a roadmap as to what the FBI is planning and what is the goal of the FBI probe, right? Beyond that, I wanted to share with you a couple things that I just found really absurd. Like, oh, wow, I almost forgot, everybody. Another thing that the chat and the comment section was fired up about was the fact that the community of Dolton had hired former Chicago and FBI investigator Lori Lightfoot to investigate Tiffany Henyard. And I said, it's and I said, basically, you guys just hired the wolves to guard the hen house. But the comment section agreed with me that was not the best idea to hire Lori Lightfoot. And I said it was just like, hiring the wolves to guard the hen house. A lot of people agree. An update on Lori Lightfoot's investigation, an update on the FBI subpoenas, City Girl, Super Mayor, Let's Go, Perfect Time Podcast with the blast on their ass, Super Mayor, City Girl.
So, trustee, we got copies of the subpoenas. Would you like to look at them?
Absolutely.
We show the subpoenas to Dolton trustee Tammy Brown, delivered by 4 FBI agents at Dolton Village Hall Friday afternoon. They're directed to the Village of Dolton's custodian of records, a subpoena to testify before a grand jury. And that's our first confirmation that a federal grand jury has been impaneled to investigate allegations of corruption in Dolton. One subpoena asked for the personnel and disciplinary files for 29 Dolton employees. Trustee Brown reviewed the names and told us they all have one thing in common.
All of these people are loyal to the mayor.
The second subpoena asks for information about Village Administrator Keith Freeman, Mayor Henyard's top deputy, including payments, tax records, and any contracts given to a list of companies, some of which are associated with Freeman, according to a search of LLC records.
You have 2 separate subpoenas for 2 different types of records. And that means it's a what I would call a multifaceted or a multi-pronged investigation. They're not just looking at one allegation of criminal wrongdoing, but they're looking at
This is
multiple.
what people always talk about when they say when the FBI come, they come when they finally charge you. When the FBI finally charge you, they got a 90% conviction rate because they come with this prosecution style where you can hear what he said. We pointed out they're not just going after her on one angle. They're approaching this from multiple, not just criminal neglect, but also as far as the money is concerned. So there's multiple ways she can get charged in this FBI probe. That's very important to understand, and how serious, because I don't know, it's a lot of YouTubers, it's a lot of media now surrounding this issue. So people might think this is not as serious as it actually is until you hear the details and the breakdown of these FBI subpoenas. Keith Freeman has been indicted for that same investigator. So one indictment has already come of these probes. The gentleman just named in that probe has already been indicted by the FBI for I think it's like a bankruptcy or embezzlement. We'll go over it. Several individuals within the Dolton leadership worked in concert to achieve certain nefarious goals. That's how you get a RICO case put together. And I believe, you guys, because I know how much you've been following me and supporting me on this story, is to give you more context and clarity to the FBI probe, what the FBI was probing into, who the FBI subpoenas were served to, and a roadmap and the goal of that investigation, which we already knew was, I believe, a RICO charge. Citygirl Mayor responded. Let's get the Citygirl Mayor response to this FBI probe. And I think you may not be surprised, because I think it's par for the course in why these things are happening this way. But let's see how the Citygirl Mayor responds to the FBI probe.
Henyard, the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, is struggling to silence growing calls for an investigation into how she spends public money.
I will be victorious when all the dust clear. You see, mark my words. So with that being said, I'm going to go into this veto message.
During a tense board meeting Monday, Henyard vetoed a measure calling for an outside investigation into her alleged misuse of public funds.
Calling for an investigation of Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
This after the village board late last month called for the FBI, the U.S. Attorney, and the Cook County Sheriff to investigate the village's finances, which trustees say the mayor is keeping under wraps while spending lavishly.
We cannot continue to stand for millions of dollars being wasted on trips and things that do not benefit the community.
Kiana Belcher is one trustee calling for that investigation. She alleges that last year the mayor racked up $1 million in police overtime for her own personal detail.
A weekend, possibly $27,000 to $30,000.
This is my point about when it's not just the trustees that she's working in concert with, but it's also the leadership at the police department. And there are allegations of her using individuals, and certain restaurateurs have claimed and spoken to the FBI. I presented to you in my last episode where I showed you the FBI informant who actually agreed to do an interview, and the FBI informant who currently is working with the FBI to prosecute Tiffany did an interview and said that he has been targeted not only by Tiffany, but by her minions who are on the board of trustees and in the Dolton Police Department. And this is how you get the RICO charge, because when you say, okay, perfect, the police were helping her. Why? The police were helping her, and the police became her personal security because of payment. And then you got to say, well, where the money came from, and that's how you get the FBI investigation. But listen to these details. Back to the video.
She also says the mayor spent $1.3 million
Because we have love on ice today.
building this ice rink.
Nobody can go over there unless she's having the event.
Contracted by the village say they're not getting paid.
The banners or the billboards with her face on them, is that person not getting paid?
No, the person.
Wait. We gotta come up with a new name now. Is this the Ice Queen? Is this the Snow Princess? Come on, man. Come on, man. What's the name of that Frozen song, man? I can't even think about it right now, man. It escapes me, man. But we got to give her a new name. She spent $1.3 million on an ice rink that no one is able to use. It can't be life, man. I don't believe it's true. I can't believe it because we would have reported on that. No, I haven't heard that nowhere else. Are you serious? She spent $1.3 million of taxpayer money on her own personal winter wonderland. No, she didn't. Oh my God. Brand new name. This is the Ice Princess. This is the Ice Princess. This is the Snow Queen. This is, what's her name? Elsa from this is Elsa from the movie. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is my first time hearing this, man. That's incredible. $1.3 million of taxpayer money on a personal ice skating ring that she hasn't allowed anyone to use. How do you not allow the taxpayers to use something they pay for? She's using her own personal military, i.e. the Dolton Police Force. This just keeps getting better and better. I'm watching this the first time with you guys. So I'm reacting to this with you. I had to stop it. I couldn't believe it myself. $1.3 million on a personal winter wonderland. She's going to get a new name today. Ice Princess, Snow Queen. Let's keep going. Thing we're going to go into is when we talked about last time I saw you is Lori Lightfoot had been hired by the city trustees to do an investigation. Now, this is separate from the FBI investigation that City Girl Super Mayor vetoed. This is different, okay? They hired her via a law firm. And I want to give you the update of what's going on with the Lori Lightfoot investigation.
She's been called the worst mayor in America, even though she provides over a village of just over 20,000 people. Dolton, Illinois Mayor Tiffany Henyard has gained national attention after accusations of stealing village funds to bankroll first-class trips to Vegas, among other alleged misdeeds. Now she stepped in to dismiss the former Chicago mayor hired to investigate her. Elsie Kernstein has been following this story very, very closely. This is another weird story coming into the newsroom.
I'll tell you what, Hannah, sparks were flying at this Dolton board meeting, and this is just about 30 minutes south of Chicago. So residents there say, hey, they're angry that the mayor blocked Lori Lightfoot from investigating her use of funds. So Lori Lightfoot, who is a former federal prosecutor, also the former Chicago mayor, had been.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe some people was excited. They thought Lori Lightfoot was going to come through high stepping and come through and save the day. She promoted like she was going to save the day. That's what she said. I'm going to investigate for the people of Dolton. City Girl Mayor struck that shit down. Superman! Fuck with, you can't fuck with the police. You can't fuck with the police. You can't fuck with the police. City Girl.
Residents say they are fed up.
This administration is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace. If you won't step down, we need to take our township back and put it in more capable hands. A lot of times this board sells you off of fake news, which is they come out and they film things and they put our community in a bad light.
Again, by the end of the meeting, Mayor Henyard used her veto power to block Lori Lightfoot from investigating her use of taxpayer dollars. But now with the FBI involved, that may not matter much. For now, we know that the woman dubbed as the worst mayor in America. Well, she's going to continue to keep her job.
Last month, the Board of Trustees voted to hire former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot as a special investigator into Mayor Henyard. Tonight, Henyard vetoed that appointment.
You know, it's veto power. So how dare you think you could come in someone's town and start working or doing something, even though we said something stating it's illegal. We cited the code and everything in here, and she will not be paid for services.
Is that a good or a bad thing? Let me know in the comment. She could have worked with her. You know what I'm saying? They both city girls, sister girls. You know what I'm saying? I can't see it. I can't see how they could have worked together. They both city girls, sister girls, but you know. That's how I went. City Girl Superman. City Girl Superman and fired Lori Lightfoot. And she said she not getting paid. But ain't nobody getting paid in Dolton. So I don't think Lori Lightfoot was doing it for the money. She said she's going to get $400 an hour. She said, no. So Lori Lightfoot is out of there, man. And you got the FBI with the details of the subpoenas, and you got the brother who the FBI subpoena served to him. You got him under indictment. Remember I told you that brother who was being subpoenaed by the FBI was under indictment?
This is not just the price is right.
Despite sitting next to Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard at countless meetings, the feds allege Keith Freeman not only failed to report his income from the village, he actively lied about it. Freeman is Henyard's top aide in both Dolton and Thornton Township. As part of a personal bankruptcy case, he was required to report his earnings. But this indictment on one count of bankruptcy fraud says Freeman falsely stated he only worked for the township and made just over $99,000 last year. Prosecutors say he tried to hide his Dolton earnings via a pass-through company, which brought his income to $195,000 last year. They further allege the village of Robbins has a claim against Freeman for more than $90,000 he took without authorization from a previous post he held as
double dipping. This is not going to go well because the feds don't play about that money. That's the one thing you could play around about, you know, the law, the statutes, and the township, because it's a township versus a village versus a city. But this money and taxpayer money, that's where they got caught up. That's why they're investigating the money. You know what I'm saying? Not so much how much power she has, but how and what you did and how you came about these monies. That's pertinent to the feds.
At the end of the day, guys, I say this and I mean this. We have to still live here. When they leave, we have to fix what's broke.
We have to still live here. After they go, we have to fix what's broke. We trying to fix it, get your ass up out of here. That's the whole thing, man. Hey, a lot of clarity today. They said she didn't win by 80%. She won by 100 votes, just 4% of the actual vote. So a lot of things that's been said in promoting this individual haven't been true. Remember, they told you she won by a landslide of votes and she won by 80% of the vote of the electorate voted for her. That's not true. We learned that today from the village trustees and the people there who are ready for her to go. They said next election, she out of here, and she only won with 4% of the vote. She didn't win with 80% of the electorate. So a lot of truths are coming out. I believe we got some clarity on the FBI investigation. We got a whistleblower who actually spoke. We got two whistleblowers, people who spoke to the feds, did an interview, and the brave individual involved with the civil lawsuit spoke out for the first time, giving credibility to the civil lawsuit against Tiffany Henyard. So you got the indictment of her top aide for embezzlement, right? For $90,000, because both of them work in both townships, Dolton and Thornton Township, right? But he lied on the paperwork and said that he only worked for one. So you got embezzlement under indictment right now, top aide, and he also ran her cancer charity, who they said got funded by taxpayer dollars. She got a cancer charity, and they said that they funded that cancer charity with taxpayer dollars. And this individual who's been indicted is involved in all of that. They indict him. They get him to flip on Tiffany, and then you got the RICO. Because then they could prove that she was working with him, working with the police, and working with them all in concert to achieve these nefarious goals. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you think about the subpoenas, the FBI subpoenas, who they were served to, why they were served there. Does that present a roadmap of where the FBI wants to go? And let me know what you think about Tiffany, City Girl Mayor, Super Mayor, firing Lori Lightfoot, and Lori Lightfoot Lori Lightfoot getting paid like everybody else. Nobody was getting paid, Tiffany. She said ain't nobody getting paid. Nobody was getting paid. Tiffany, thank y'all for watching and tuning in. Salute.